Welcome, James, to the Metal Twilight Zone radio show to Thessaloniki.
Oh, cool. The Metal Twilight Zone, that's what it's called? I like that.
Yes, it's the name of the radio show. Can we start?
Yes.
First of all, how is Jerry Barker's health?
It's actually doing better. He was diagnosed with stomach cancer, but it turns out that it seems like he doesn't have stomach cancer. We know that he had a very, very infected ulcer, which is what caused him to have to come home from the tour last year. But somehow they thought it was worse as stomach cancer, but now they're saying they don't think it is. So I think he'll be ready back in action and for the next shows we have up. So
good news for Jerry.
Yeah, good news.
You released Glory of Chaos a year ago. How is it going sales-wise?
Actually, it's doing really well. I mean, I haven't gotten any real figures from the label yet, but I think that it's doing well. It's doing well in America, which is what we wanted anyways. We wanted to start getting more popular where we live, because that's where we're from.
In Europe?
And Europe, of course, we've always been liked over here, but I think the album, because it's so much heavier and almost borderline thrash, that the young kids over there that are into Testament and Overkill are now all of a sudden into this band.
How long have you been on the road for the promotion of your latest album?
Well, if we combine it, we did a tour last November already, or December. And then we've been playing nonstop, around the States, and now back out here again. So we've been kind of pushing it pretty hard for a year, playing off and on, but we've been staying busy with it.
How was the concert yesterday in Athens? Did you get a good vibe from the audience?
Yes, yes, and yes. Unbelievable. That's all. One simple word. Unbelievable.
From the Greek audience?
Yeah, the Greek audience. So let's hope Thessaloniki can match it up.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you have any new stuff, and when can we expect the new release from HELSTAR?
It's going to be a while. I think we're going to go into the writing process in the beginning of the year. Probably won't even have an album out till... maybe 2012. We'll see.
How are things in the metal scene in the United States?
It's getting better. It goes through phases. One minute it starts doing really well, and then the next minute it just depends on who's coming around at the time. It's all to do with the
you think that in Europe is better?
Well, yeah, of course. It's still going to always be better here. I mean, it's never going to get in the States like it was in the 80s. I can tell you that much. But, I mean, we do well there in where we're from in Texas, But other than that, I mean, the United States is such a bigger area, so you have pockets of areas that metal does well. So it makes it really hard to tour, because it's like we can do 3 cities in Texas and do very well, and then between Texas and Florida they ain't a goddamn thing, but then there's Tampa and Fort Lauderdale, and then if you start going up north, there's nothing there until you hit Virginia, and so there's all these empty spots. And so what we just started to do, we just started doing the Weekend Warrior thing. We just play certain markets Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We fly in, fly out. That's it. It doesn't make sense to tour America anymore unless you got all the backing and all the money and Nightliner and the whole 9 yards.
Power metal seems to be losing ground. Do you think that the constant presence of a band of the caliber of HELSTAR could revive the power metal scene?
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of what we were hoping with Glory, but we were also trying to reach out to. I really don't like being in that box, power metal band, because when you do that, then you really start getting to an area of just only the Keep It True people can relate to what you do, and anybody else that's your average Joe Schmo metalhead is, they once they listen to it, they're going to like it, but they're going to be like, I'm not a power metal follower, and once you start falling into that realm, then you're classified. I think with this new album, we wanted to get heavier, and yeah, we started power metal, so we're always going to have that image on us, but I think a band like us can make power metal expand. That's the word I wanted to use.
We can call it heavy metal, and
yeah, exactly, right.
You took part in the last Seven Witches album, although the music of HELSTAR is more sophisticated than Seven Witches. Aren't you afraid that people might get confused about which band they're listening to, given the similarities of your singing in those bands?
Well, no, actually, because the thing is that they're two different animals. You're right. HELSTAR is much heavier, much more complex, and I sing differently in HELSTAR a bit in some cases. Seven Witches is like another whole room. It's like it's two different rooms because it's more melodic and it has more bigger choruses. That's the difference between the two. So as long as I can balance, the Witches is what you call a true metal band. That's what you call old school true European metal band. HELSTAR's more dark, thrashier, even a little bit of black metal, elements and all that.
I think you're right.
Yes.
Are you going to go on a tour with Seven Witches?
We're supposed to. I think Jack's working on some dates right now with Armored Saint in America. So those should be some good shows if they happen.
For Europe?
I don't know about Europe. It just seems weird. We don't really know what's going to happen with Europe, right now.
And finally, James, do you have any messages for your Greek fans?
Yeah, I love you. Simple as that. You guys are awesome. The best audience in the world between here and Slovenia. It's a toss in the air, but you guys run a tight race. And if I could move here, I would. Just because the fans are loyal, they're true, and that touches my heart more than anything in the world. I don't like, to play an area that only at the time because something's they're into you, but the next time you come around, they won't even give you the time of day.
Okay, James, thank you very much for the interview. I hope to see you on the next tour with Seven Witches, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We might come. You never know. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome.